If you've ever traveled across Europe or even just watched a European vlog, you might have noticed something surprising at the dinner table. Instead of plain still water, many people casually sip sparkling water, like it's the default. No special occasion, no fancy glass required, it's just normal. Meanwhile, in many other parts of the world, sparkling water feels more like a luxury, a mixer, or something you only order at a restaurant. So why is it so common in Europe? Why do people there treat fizzy water the same way others treat tap water? Let's break it down right here on History of Simple Things. The story actually starts long before bottled water brands existed. Naturally carbonated mineral springs have been known in Europe for centuries. Places in countries like Germany, France, and Italy had water sources where bubbles came straight out of the ground. These weren't just curiosities, they were believed to have health benefits. During the 17th and 18th centuries, people traveled to these springs for what we'd now call wellness tourism, drinking the mineral-rich water as part of medical treatments. By the late 1700s, scientists figured out how to artificially carbonate water by dissolving carbon dioxide into it. This led to the creation of early soda water, making it possible to bottle and transport that fizzy experience. Europe quickly embraced it, not just as a health drink, but as an everyday beverage. Over time, sparkling water became part of daily life rather than a novelty. One of the biggest reasons sparkling water is so common in Europe comes down to mineral water culture. In many European countries, water isn't just water, it's categorized. You'll often see options like still, lightly sparkling, or fully sparkling. And these aren't just preferences, they're deeply ingrained habits. Mineral water is often sourced from natural springs and contains dissolved minerals like calcium, magnesium, and bicarbonate. These give the water a distinct taste, sometimes slightly salty or bitter. For many Europeans, that taste is actually preferred over plain tap water. Sparkling versions enhance those flavors, making the experience more refreshing and satisfying. Let's be honest. If you didn't grow up drinking sparkling water, it can feel a bit strange at first. The bubbles might seem sharp or even unpleasant, but taste is largely shaped by habit. In Europe, many people are introduced to sparkling water at a young age, so it becomes the norm. The carbonation adds a crisp, almost tingling sensation that some people find more refreshing than still water. It can also make the water feel cleaner or more satisfying, especially when paired with meals. Think of it like the difference between eating plain bread and toasted bread. Same base, but a completely different experience. Another big factor is how meals are structured in Europe. In many countries, dining is a slower, more deliberate experience. Meals can last longer and beverages are chosen carefully to complement the food. Sparkling water fits perfectly into this environment. It's often served in restaurants by default, sometimes even more commonly than still water. The bubbles can help cleanse the palate between bites, making each part of the meal feel more distinct. It's similar to why some people drink soda with food, but without the sweetness or calories. In fact, if you sit down at a restaurant in countries like Germany or Italy, you'll likely be asked whether you want still or sparkling water. And sparkling is often the assumed choice. In many parts of Europe, tap water is perfectly safe to drink. But culturally, it's not always the first choice. Historically, mineral water from springs was considered higher quality. And that perception stuck around even as tap water improved. In restaurants, tap water is sometimes not offered automatically, or it may even be frowned upon to request it in certain places. Instead, bottled water, often sparkling, is the standard. This reinforces the habit of drinking carbonated water regularly, even outside the home. There's also a long-standing belief in Europe that mineral water, especially sparkling varieties, offers health benefits. While modern science shows that most of these benefits are modest, the perception remains influential. Some people believe sparkling water aids digestion, particularly after heavy meals. The carbonation can make you feel less bloated or help with a sense of fullness. While it's not a miracle drink, it's generally just as hydrating as still water, which makes it an easy everyday choice. Availability plays a huge role in shaping habits. In Europe, sparkling water is everywhere. Supermarkets stock entire sections dedicated to different brands and levels of carbonation. Restaurants default to it. Even homes often have bottles of it in the fridge. In some countries, people even use home carbonation machines to turn regular tap water into sparkling water on demand. When something is that accessible, it naturally becomes part of daily life rather than something special. At the end of the day, the reason Europeans drink sparkling water like normal water isn't just one thing, it's a combination of history, taste, culture, and availability. What started as natural mineral spring water evolved into a daily habit that's been passed down through generations. For many Europeans, drinking sparkling water doesn't feel fancy or unusual. It's just water, with a little extra texture. So, the next time you see someone casually ordering sparkling water with lunch in Europe, it's not about showing off or making a fancy choice. It's simply what they're used to. Generations of history, cultural habits, and a genuine preference for that crisp, fizzy bite have turned sparkling water into an everyday staple. And who knows, if you give it enough time, you might start reaching for the bubbly stuff too. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.